I would be sarcastic if I was said this was the most anticipated sequel of the year. Hot Tub Time Machine 2. Now, I'm going to say this. I was a big fan of the first Hot Tub Time Machine that came out in 2010. It was one of my favorite comedies of that year. It had four leads who you grow to like and who all have an interesting story arc. It was an entertaining, raunchy comedy. It wasn't high art, but it wasn't trying to be. It was basically what you get when you take The Hangover and Back to the Future. Mix it together, and what do you get? Of course, you get Hot Tub Time Machine. Was I hoping for a sequel? Well, yeah. The film kinda ended for me wanting more. And I was excited when I heard there was finally gonna be a sequel. But I was less excited when I heard John Cusack was not gonna be in it. And when I saw the trailer to this, it didn't do much for me either. But I was willing to give this movie the benefit of the doubt, and I went and saw it. And it turns out I was absolutely right. Oh, man. This movie is like movie 43. It's not as bad as movie 43, but it comes in a few rows behind. It's one of those films that pretends to have a plot, but it's just an excuse for gross out gags that just come out of nowhere. Oh, man. It's just this. It's just painful and unpleasant. And John Cusack not being in this, you may think he just jumped. He didn't want to be a part of this. He jumped the train. No, from what I heard, he wasn't even asked to be in this. And I'll bet when he's watching this movie sometime in a few years, he's probably going to say, wow, they really did me a favor. And it basically involves time travel again, where Lou gets shot. Let me put it this way, that's a recurring gag from the first film. Here it's just played out in an unflattering sort of way. Hope they go back in time to save his life, but they go 10 years into the future. And I don't think I should tell you anymore. I gotta say, John Cusack not being in this kind of... Well, I'm not saying he was the best part of the first film, but he was the thing about the rest of the cast, they had chemistry. And with him gone, it just kind of rips that chemistry in half. Not that Adam Scott, who plays Cusack's son, is bad. No, he does have a few funny moments that I did laugh a little. But other than that, he seems very out of place here. Rob Corddry is just terrible in this movie. Oh, it's like the writers felt his obnoxiousness in the first film was just too subtle. He really it just gets amped up to an 11. Now, Rob Corddry can be funny. If you give him the right jokes, he can be very funny. Craig Robinson looks incredibly bored. Oh, man. Clark Duke does his best as Jacob, but nothing really comes from him that's just makes any bit more of this any less interesting than it already is. Oh man, it's like, do the writers even see the first film? They just this is not like Dumb and Dumber 2. I mean, with a film like that, I know what to expect. But here, I was expecting a raunchy comedy, but I was expecting an interesting storyline to be told in the middle of it all. There was none of that. This movie it's like it's just stringing you along the way. It's like it's insulting your intelligence. That's what this movie does. Although, except for Adam Scott, who's funny and this ain't any good. I gotta give it a 3 out of 10. I'd rather watch the first film and pretend that this film just does not exist. See you later.